Over 3 million dogs are rehomed every year in the United States, not because they're bad, but because of small mistakes owners don't even notice. Today, we're exposing 22 common behaviors that make your dog believe you don't love him. Mistake 1. Removing your dog's emotional voice. What's the fastest way to erase millions of years of canine evolution in one surgical procedure? Tail docking. Your dog's tail contains over 20 vertebrae and connects to 6 different muscle groups specifically designed for one purpose: communication. When researchers at the University of Victoria studied docked versus natural-tailed dogs, they found something disturbing. Dogs without tails were misunderstood by other dogs 73% of the time during social interactions. Your dog isn't just losing a body part, they're losing their primary emotional broadcasting system. It's the equivalent of forcing a human to communicate complex feelings using only eyebrow movement. Every wagging pattern, every height variation, every speed change carries specific emotional data that other dogs and humans instinctively read. Mistake 2. The embrace that triggers panic. You lean in for that warm, tight embrace with your furry best friend, but did you know that 82% of dogs show visible signs of stress when hugged? A groundbreaking study analyzed 250 photographs of people hugging dogs and found something unsettling. The dogs displayed anxiety signals in nearly every single image: ears pulled back, eyes showing whites, mouths tightly closed, heads turned away. Dogs are cursorial animals, meaning their survival instinct is to run when threatened. When you wrap your arms around them, you're literally restraining their primary defense mechanism. It triggers a primal panic response. Your dog tolerates your hugs out of loyalty, not enjoyment. They're silently suffering through your affection. Mistake 3. The confusion that destroys their mind. Monday, your dog gets treats from the table. Wednesday, you yell at them for begging. Friday, you hand feed them again. This inconsistency isn't just confusing, it's psychologically damaging. Canine cognition research from the University of Bristol reveals that dogs exposed to inconsistent rules show the same cognitive impairment patterns as humans with chronic stress. Their brain cannot form stable neural pathways for learning because the rules keep changing. What's fascinating is that dogs with inconsistent owners show elevated cortisol levels even during calm interactions because they're in a constant state of uncertainty. They never know which version of you will show up. That unpredictability creates anxiety that pervades every moment of their life. Mistake 4. The voice that breaks their trust. Your voice just jumped 3 octaves, your face turned red, and you're towering over your dog screaming about the chewed shoe. But here's what's actually happening in your dog's brain during that moment. According to canine neuroscience research from Duke University, when you shout at your dog, their cortisol levels spike by 400% within seconds. That's the same stress hormone surge humans experience during life-threatening situations. Your dog's amygdala, the fear center of their brain, literally cannot process what they did wrong when you're shouting. They only process one thing: their pack leader has become unpredictable and dangerous. Every time you yell, you're not teaching them a lesson. You're teaching them to fear you, and fear is the opposite of love. Mistake 5. The silent agony you're ignoring. Your dog's breath smells terrible, but you ignore it. By age 3, 80% of dogs have periodontal disease. Here's what you don't see: the constant pain they're experiencing. Dental disease doesn't just affect teeth. Bacteria enter the bloodstream through infected gums, damaging heart, liver, and kidneys. Veterinary research shows that dogs with untreated dental disease have lifespans reduced by up to 3 years. The chronic pain from infected teeth changes their personality. They become irritable, withdrawn, and depressed. They can't tell you their mouth hurts every time they eat. They just suffer silently while you assume they're fine. Neglecting dental care isn't passive. It's allowing your dog to live in daily agony. Mistake 6. The threat display disguised as love. Why does your dog cower when you lean down to pet them? Because in the canine world, looming over another animal is a dominance display that precedes aggression. When you tower above your dog, especially when bending forward, their brain interprets this as a potential threat. Studies on canine body language reveal that dogs approached from above show submission signals 67% more frequently than dogs approached at eye level. Your dog's ancestors spent thousands of years reading body language to survive. That instinct doesn't disappear just because they're domesticated. When you loom over them, even with love in your heart, their nervous system screams danger. Get down to their level instead. Mistake 7. Turning their safe space into a prison. Your dog's crate has become their prison cell, and they know it. Canine behavioral specialists define psychological distress in dogs confined beyond 8 hours. Yet millions of American dogs spend 10 to 12 hours daily in crates. Here's the devastating part. Chronic crating doesn't just create boredom, it rewires your dog's brain chemistry. Extended isolation triggers the same neurological patterns seen in clinical depression in humans. The hippocampus, responsible for memory and learning, actually shrinks in dogs subjected to prolonged confinement. Your dog isn't just waiting for you, they're experiencing genuine psychological deterioration. That excited greeting when you return? That's not just joy, that's relief from mental torture. Mistake 8. The betrayal they never forget. You wind up for the throw, your dog's entire body tenses with anticipation, and then nothing. You laugh while they frantically search for a ball that was never thrown. This seems harmless, but neurological research on dogs reveals something darker. Each fake throw creates a prediction error in your dog's brain. Their dopamine system, which rewards anticipation and achievement, fires up expecting the chase. When the expected reward doesn't materialize, it creates confusion and frustration. Repeated fake throws don't just annoy your dog. They erode their trust in your signals and communication. You're teaching them that your actions are unreliable, and unreliable pack leaders are abandoned in the wild. Mistake 9. The abandonment they feel daily. Your dog sits beside your chair for 45 minutes while you scroll through your phone. They nudge your hand twice. You absently pat their head without looking up. This happens daily. Behavioral psychologists discovered that chronic attention deprivation creates the same stress markers in dogs as physical neglect. Dogs are social bonding animals with a neurological need for interaction that's hardwired into their DNA from 30,000 years of human companionship. When you consistently ignore your dog, their oxytocin levels, the bonding hormone, plummet dramatically. They don't understand that you're busy or tired. They only understand that the most important being in their universe. Mistake 10. Sensory starvation. In plain sight. Missing walks isn't just denying exercise, it's sensory deprivation. Your dog processes the world primarily through scent, and every walk is an information download that their brain desperately needs. Research on confined dogs shows that those denied regular outdoor exposure develop compulsive behaviors within just 3 weeks. The damage goes deeper. Dogs deprived of walks experience elevated cortisol levels that remain chronically high, creating a constant state of stress. Their brain literally cannot function properly without environmental enrichment. Those destructive behaviors that frustrate you, that's not disobedience. That's a neurological crisis. Your dog's mind is deteriorating from understimulation, and they can't tell you what's wrong. Pushing away their deepest love language. Mistake 11. Pushing away their deepest love language. Your dog approaches with that gleeful expression and starts licking your face. You immediately push them away with disgust. To them, you just rejected their highest form of affection. Licking is deeply rooted in canine social bonding, originating from puppyhood when they licked their mother's face for food and comfort. When adult dogs lick you, they're performing a profound trust ritual. Consistent rejection of this behavior creates confusion and emotional pain. Studies show that dogs whose affectionate gestures are repeatedly denied develop anxiety disorders and attachment issues. You don't have to accept face licks, but the way you redirect matters. Harsh rejection wounds them deeply. Mistake 12. The humiliation that scars forever. You're at the dog park, and your dog misbehaves. You immediately scold them loudly in front of other owners and their dogs. Here's what just happened in your dog's brain. Profound humiliation. Research on social cognition in dogs proves they understand social hierarchies and public perception. When disciplined publicly, dogs show elevated stress hormones that last for hours after the incident. They're not just processing your anger, they're processing their social embarrassment in front of their peers. This public humiliation damages their confidence in social situations, often creating reactive behaviors toward other dogs. Private correction teaches. Public shaming traumatizes. Your dog remembers the humiliation more than the lesson. Mistake 13. Teaching fear instead of love. Your training philosophy centers on corrections, punishment, and dominance. Every mistake gets a harsh response. But neuroscience reveals that punishment-based training literally damages your dog's ability to learn. When dogs are trained primarily through punishment, their brain enters a constant state of fear-based alertness. The prefrontal cortex, responsible for problem-solving and learning, becomes impaired. They stop trying to understand what you want and start trying to avoid what you'll punish. Studies comparing training methods show that dogs trained with positive reinforcement learn commands 3 times faster and retain them longer. Punishment doesn't teach your dog what to do. It only teaches them to fear doing anything at all. Mistake 14. Blocking the chemistry of bonding. You believe treats will make your dog overweight or spoiled, so you rarely give them any. But treats aren't just food. They're a biochemical bonding tool. When you give your dog a treat, their brain releases oxytocin and dopamine, the same neurochemicals involved in mother-infant bonding. Research shows that dogs who receive regular treat-based rewards develop stronger attachment to their owners and lower anxiety levels. Dogs denied treats show the same dopamine deficiency patterns as humans with depression. You're not preventing obesity by withholding treats. You're preventing the neurochemical bonding process that makes your dog feel loved and secure in your relationship. Mistake 15. Interrupting their brain's healing process. Your dog is peacefully sleeping, and you can't resist reaching down to pet them. They jolt awake, disoriented, and stressed. Dogs require 12 to 14 hours of sleep daily for proper brain function. When you interrupt their sleep cycles, you're disrupting critical neurological processes. During REM sleep, dogs consolidate memories, process emotions, and repair neural pathways. Chronic sleep interruption leads to cognitive decline, irritability, and behavioral problems. Studies show that dogs with disrupted sleep patterns develop anxiety disorders at significantly higher rates. When you disturb their sleep, even gently, you're not showing affection. You're causing neurological damage. Mistake 16. The sonic assault creating PTSD. Fireworks explode outside, and your dog is trembling under the bed. You think they'll get used to it, but they never do. Here's why. Dogs hear frequencies up to 65,000 hertz compared to humans' 20,000 hertz. That firework you heard as a loud bang? Your dog experienced it as a physically painful sonic assault. Acoustic trauma in dogs triggers PTSD-like symptoms that persist long after the noise ends. Research shows that a single traumatic noise event can create permanent fear responses. Dogs exposed to repeated loud noises without proper desensitization develop chronic anxiety, hypervigilance, and in severe cases, noise phobias that require medication. Your dog isn't overreacting. They're genuinely suffering. Mistake 17. Destroying their ability to focus. Your dog is intensely focused on sniffing a particular spot during your walk. You pull them away because you're in a hurry. They're investigating a toy. You interrupt to pet them. They're grooming themselves. You stop them for affection. These constant interruptions are cognitively exhausting for dogs. Research on canine attention spans reveals that dogs need to complete investigation sequences for proper mental stimulation. When you repeatedly interrupt their natural behaviors, you're preventing critical cognitive processes from finishing. Dogs subjected to frequent interruptions show the same frustration markers as humans dealing with chronic distractions. They can't concentrate, can't complete thoughts, and develop learned helplessness where they stop initiating activities altogether. Mistake 18. The gaze they read as a threat. You lock eyes with your dog, holding intense eye contact, thinking it's bonding. In the canine world, prolonged direct eye contact is a confrontational threat display. Studies using eye tracking technology show that dogs interpret sustained direct stares as aggression indicators. Their stress levels increase within 5 seconds of forced eye contact. Interestingly, quick glances with soft eyes trigger oxytocin release and bonding, but hard stares activate their threat detection systems. Dogs who are regularly subjected to intense staring develop avoidance behaviors and can become reactive. You think you're connecting deeply, but your dog's primal instincts are screaming that you're challenging them to a confrontation. Mistake 19. Rewarding the behavior you hate. That retractable leash seems convenient, but it's sabotaging your dog's training and safety. Canine behaviorists consistently warn against retractable leashes because they teach dogs that pulling is rewarded with more freedom. The inconsistent tension creates confusion about leash manners. More critically, the thin cord can cause severe injuries, amputating fingers in humans and causing neck trauma in dogs who hit the end at full speed. Emergency veterinary data shows that retractable leash injuries have increased 300% over the past decade. These leashes also make it impossible to control your dog in dangerous situations. That extra freedom feels like love to you, but it's actually negligence disguised as convenience. Mistake 20. Letting their intelligence die slowly. Your dog gets physical exercise, but you never engage their mind with puzzle toys, training sessions, or scent work. Physical exhaustion without mental stimulation creates what behaviorists call tired but wired syndrome. Canine cognition research shows that mental exercise is equally important as physical activity for dog well-being. Dogs denied mental challenges develop destructive behaviors, obsessive-compulsive disorders, and depression. Brain imaging studies reveal that dogs without regular cognitive engagement show reduced activity in the prefrontal cortex, similar to humans with understimulation. A 15-minute training session provides the same mental exhaustion as a 45-minute walk. Without mental challenges, your dog's intelligence deteriorates, and their frustration manifests as behavioral problems you'll blame them for. Mistake 21. The food switch causing hidden pain. You decide to switch dog food brands and make the change overnight. Within 24 hours, your dog has diarrhea, vomiting, and digestive distress. Dogs have sensitive digestive systems with carefully balanced gut bacteria that take weeks to adjust to new food. Veterinary gastroenterology research shows that abrupt diet changes cause severe microbiome disruption, leading to inflammation and nutrient malabsorption. The recommended transition period is 7 to 10 days of gradual mixing. Dogs experiencing repeated abrupt diet changes develop chronic digestive issues and can become food averse. What seems like a simple food switch to you is actually causing genuine physical pain and distress. Your dog's digestive system isn't equipped to handle sudden changes. Mistake 22. The deadly bowl combination, slowly poisoning them. You place food and water at bowls side by side, thinking it's convenient, but you've just created a bacterial breeding ground that's silently killing your dog. When dogs eat, food particles, saliva, and debris fall directly into the adjacent water bowl. Within 48 hours, that water becomes a bacteria-rich soup containing E. coli, salmonella, and harmful pathogens. Veterinary microbiologists found that water bowls placed next to food contain 1,000 times more bacteria than toilet water. Your dog drinks this contaminated water throughout the day, introducing toxins directly into their digestive system. This causes chronic low-grade infections, digestive inflammation, and weakens their immune system. Separate those bowls by at least 2 feet. That convenient setup is slowly poisoning your best friend with every sip. Here's the brutal truth. The dogs in those 3.3 million shelter kennels didn't have bad owners. They had uninformed owners who loved them, but loved them wrong. You now have information that 95% of dog owners will never learn. Your dog can't read this script, can't research canine neuroscience, can't tell you what's damaging them. You're their only voice, their only protection, their entire world. Which of these mistakes are you fixing today? Comment below and subscribe so you never accidentally hurt your best friend again. Remember, your dog forgives you instantly for every mistake, but their body and mind don't forget. The question isn't whether you love your dog. It's whether you're loving them in ways they can actually understand and feel.